That the court is about to pronounce, I am very mindful of what was presented as to Mr. Holder's mental health history. I'm also mindful of devastation caused to the victims and their families. So I think this sentence balances both. The principal term in this sentence will be count 3, the 245A2 on Mr. Latham. The court selects the midterm of 3 years in state prison. For the gun, there will be an additional 4 years in state prison consecutive. And then for the great bodily injury allegation that was found true, it will be 3 years consecutive to that. So for count 3, it will be a total of 10 years in state prison. As to count 2, which was the attempted voluntary manslaughter, Mr. Latham being the victim, the court has doubts as to the viability of that count because there was no provocation by Mr. Latham. Same holds true for Mr. Villanueva. The court believes that it is 654, so that the court would impose the midterm of 3 years plus the 4 years and the 3 years, but stay those sentences. As to count 5, the 245A2 as to Mr. Villanueva, the court selects the midterm of 3 years plus the 4 years for that's the midterm for the use of the gun. It's a total of 7 years, but run that concurrent. As to count 4, the attempted voluntary manslaughter, again, this court feels that 654 is applicable, so that it would impose the 3 years, the midterm, plus 4 years for the gun, but stay. Once again, if the court is incorrect about that application, it would be the midterm of 3 years plus 4 years for the gun, and that would run concurrent. As to count 6, Penal Code Section 2980081, possession of a firearm by a felon, as this was the gun used, or one of the guns used by the defendant. Court feels this is 654 and will select the midterm of 2 years and stay that. Otherwise, it would be 2 years concurrent. As to count 1, the murder in the first degree of Mr. Askedon, the sentence will be the term prescribed by law, which is 25 years to life. In addition, there will be the 12022.53D allegation, which is consecutive. That will be an additional 25 years to life. So for count